listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest, Ann Gray, Executive Director of the Alzheimer's Association. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Glad to have you with us. Let me remind you, if you ever have any finance-related questions, I'm the consumer advocate looking out for you, 800-306-1990 or 800-306-1990. or RonSiegelRadio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. A beautiful day here in Southern California. They are saying it might get a little nasty later in the day. So let's celebrate early today. I know it's not Valentine's Day. We're not celebrating that early. But National Break Up With Your Carrier Day? I don't know about that one. National Cheddar Day? Maybe. Having beaten anorexia, though, I will go with National Tortellini Day. Yes. So we can celebrate that one a little bit later in the day. Is it too early to start celebrating National Cream-Filled Chocolates Day, which is tomorrow? I think I'll start worrying about that one right away. You know, I like to be early. There's no problem with that, is there? Checking out the markets for you today. We're turning around a little bit. Dow Jones Industrial Average up 100 points right now. It was up more earlier in the day. We can look and see oil is up $54.26 a barrel. I'm sorry, it's at $54.26 a barrel. I kind of get carried away because we're looking at oil prices being up. And you know what that means in Taxifornia, right? The oil's up $1.17 right now. Gas prices, $227.3 is the national average. In Taxifornia, we're about $1 a gallon higher than the national average. We're at $326.8. And if you want the cheapest gas in the land, they're at $1.97.4. Yes, you got to go to Arkansas to buy it, but that's not bad if you're going to get gas at $1.97.4. Unfortunately, we are in Taxifornia, so we're going to pay more than anybody else. Although I think Hawaii might still have us beat. Sometimes they're a little cheaper than we are as well. I think Hawaii might be less than us right now. 0.3 of a penny more. I guess they produce more oil in Hawaii than we do in Taxifornia. Just saying, moving right along, let's see what else is going on in the marketplace. We're looking at the 10-year Treasury. Up about 1 basis point, 2.70 right now. If you put your money in for 10 years, yeah, you're going to be in trouble because you're not going to get a whole lot for it. That is a tax or a hit on our seniors, those that are living on fixed income. That's who pays the price there. But we do have some bad news today because we did see that the U.S. national debt just crossed over $22 trillion. Ow! Yeah, we've got a bit of a spending problem. I know that some of our liberal friends want to say tax more, but we are on pace for the largest revenue amount in U.S. history. Yeah, we cut the taxes, but revenue went up. So if revenue goes up and the debt goes up, guess what that translates into? Yeah, we're spending a bit too much money, but that's just the way it is here in the U.S. We like to spend money even if we don't have it. Checking out what else is going on in the marketplace for you right now. We're looking, the S&P 500, 2751. That's up 6.78. So that's another one of those that the S&P's looking good. If you're into technical analysis, which I am, kind of watch and see where the technical charts are doing on a regular basis, we are above that Fibonacci resistance level. So we're above that. We're above the 200-day moving average. That's all good signs. That means the market does not have a whole lot of resistance right there. Might see the markets continue up. So we're the S&P 500, 2751, almost 2752 right now. And the next level of support is at 2741. So we are looking very, very strong right there. What is going on in the daily briefing today? We'll take a look at that for you as well. El Chapo, did you see that he got sentenced or convicted on all counts? So I wonder if we can get Ted Cruz, I think it was Ted Cruz who came up with the idea. Let's see if we just can find that $14 billion that he has, got it from all that drug trafficking, and build that wall. I know that some people say that walls don't work, but they have them around their houses, around the Senate, around the Capitol building. I wonder why they have those there if they don't work. What else is in the daily briefing? Oh, Senate Intel Committee. We do have the report from them. We've got that out. What did they find out about Russia? Yeah, no evidence of collusion with the president or his campaign. Senate Intel Committee nears the end of its investigation into the 2016 election. 2 years, 200 plus interviews later, Democrats and Republicans alike have found no direct evidence of a conspiracy between the Trump campaign and Russia. Think about that one. I wonder how much money we spent on that. I wonder how much of that went into the national debt right there to find absolutely nothing. And the president told us right along it was a witch hunt, so now the Senate has said the same thing. House of Representatives said the same thing. Mueller, he's still out on his witch hunt, spending money hand over fist. Now, I don't understand this one, though. Mueller's out there doing his report, paying all his Democrat friends to be on there, even people that the president has fired in the past being on his special counsel's office. Now, if he comes out with his report, he's unemployed. So do you think there's any motivation for him to come out with a report anytime soon? Just a simple person asking a simple question for you. And now we've got a big dilemma going on here. This is a fascinating one. So we've got Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, bartender by night and working in the Congress by day. She is a genius, obviously, just ask her. So she's come out with this Green New Deal. Now we're going to get rid of air travel. We're going to get rid of fossil fuels. We want to, according to her, we want to use natural gas. Nobody told her that is a fossil fuel, but that's a different story. We want to go back to traveling by train. Now, maybe our governor missed the memo on this one because he just came up with the idea that we're going to cancel the train expansion and we're going to keep it going from Merced to Modesto. Does anybody want to go from Merced to Modesto? I don't know anybody that I talk to people all the time. I've never ever heard somebody say, you know, Ron, I am really looking forward to the family vacation. We're going to Modesto this year. I just don't hear that one. Or Merced. I don't hear them saying that one either. But here's the reason, and nobody wants to tell you this. Why are they going to continue building the train going from Merced to Modesto? Well, because the state will have to return $3 billion to the feds if they don't finish it. So we'll have this train going from nowhere that anybody wants to be to nowhere anybody wants to go, so that we don't have to pay back the federal government $3 billion, and we'll probably spend another $70 billion to save that $3 billion. That's the way the government works. Just amazing right there. How do you deal with that? It's just consistent stupidity. Just my thought. Speaking of stupidity, yes, we did get Governor Cuomo went to visit the president. That's an interesting saga in and of itself. Right, we got Governor Cuomo of New York, who is a big-time anti-Trumper, going to the White House. So why would he be going to the White House if he's a big-time anti-Trumper? Yeah, I guess he had to realize. I don't know why they didn't have any more optics. They should have had a press conference with him there. Just a thought for the president, but I guess it's a little bit too late. Governor Cuomo doesn't like the state and local tax limits. Yes, New York is like California, New Jersey, Connecticut, Massachusetts. They like to tax everything. And now that they don't get the big write-offs for those tax breaks, they're not too happy about it because people are starting to realize that the federal government, the rest of the country, is not going to subsidize these big taxes. And they're leaving those states. Now, we know $58.6 billion leaves California every single year on average since 1992. $58.6 billion of adjusted gross income leaving the state. And now somebody's going to talk about it, but I guess the president had a different agenda. He wanted to talk about the Reproductive Health Act. Yeah, that was New York's recent abortion bill that says, you know something? Up until the time of delivery, you can abort a baby. Up until the time of delivery. Yeah, I'm wondering what's going to happen. They keep pushing this out further and further. I hope they don't get to a point where they say up until age 18 you can have an abortion. I just don't get it, but that seems to be the way of the world. Post-delivery in Virginia, you can have an abortion. Think about that one, post-delivery. I used to think that was called murder, but that is the law of the land there. Unreal. It's just the society that we are in today. We got a lot to chat about today on Ron Siegel Radio. We are going to talk about Alzheimer's disease. Are women disproportionately affected? We'll talk about that one. Why homeownership matters now more than ever. What you need to know about filing taxes jointly. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. On Twitter, @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. But the replay will be available. Ron Siegel 1. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
In the middle of our street,
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it and it hurts you? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information, and nearly 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO-certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990. Or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission, lending partners will give a credit at closing, the title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, Gold Star is the only one I know of with the Fast Pass loan approval, saving you $10,000 to $50,000 on the purchase of your new home. The Mortgage Minute. Today we are watching the mortgage market for you. We do it every day. The S&P 500 start there up 8.21 right now. 2752.94 is where that S&P 500 is. Been jumping around a little bit today. The 10-year Treasury up 1 basis point, 269.50. The Fannie Mae 30-year bond, it is down 8 basis points. We've been talking about that one. That's the one that drives your home loan rates. That's the only one that drives your home loan rates. 8 basis points on that one right now. We are right at a support level. Hopefully we don't break down below that support level, and means interest rates will go up even more. That's all the information that they give you right there on that super secret website, google.com. The question becomes, why is all of this happening? That's what we deal with on Ron Siegel Radio. Well, the Consumer Price Index, that measures inflation on a consumer level, showed that overall inflation was unchanged in the month of January. On a year-over-year basis, inflation dropped from 1.9 to 1.6%, almost all due to oil prices declining. Gasoline was down 5.5% in January. Core rate, which strips out food and energy, rose by 0.2% month over month, in line with expectations. On a year-over-year basis, core inflation was unchanged at 2.2%. Within the report, rents rose 0.3%. 0.3 on that rent rise. I don't know if you were renting out there, but you may not like that one. Ow! So that's a 3.4% increase on a yearly basis. That's a little bit significant. Make sure to use this information if you're thinking about buying or selling a house. That's where you decide whether it makes sense for you. The Mortgage Bankers Association reported that mortgage application was down 3.7% last week. Applications to purchase a home were down 6% and are now down 5.3% from last year. Refinance is basically flat. Now think about this, we're only about 0.25% higher on interest than we were at a year ago. If you've got more equity in your home, if you've got mortgage insurance, maybe you don't have to have that anymore. If you've got a lot of credit card debt, auto debt, student loan debt, maybe you can roll that in and save money. I shared with you before, we had one listener that called us, did an analysis for them, saved them about $630 on their home, on their total debt package, cut down their term by about 12 years, and increased their interest rate. Figure that one out. If you can't figure it out, give me a call at 800-306-1990. We can do a custom demo for you as well. That's the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends over at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next loan, give us a call, 800-306-1990. We will chat with you about what it means for you and your family. Today we've got a topic to talk about, very, very near and dear to my heart. We're talking about Alzheimer's. Ann Gray, the Executive Director of Alzheimer's Association, is with us. Welcome.
Thank you.
So, Alzheimer's, I mean, it seems like that a lot of more people are getting diagnosed with Alzheimer's and just have a name. We used to call them just senile.
Right. The incidence of Alzheimer's disease are increasing.
Is it increasing?
It is increasing. It's expected to increase and actually triple by 2050.
Triple?
Triple.
Wow. So is there... Now, I heard just the other day that there was something... they think they've got a cure for cancer in Israel. Is there any cures on the horizon? Are we seeing? Is there research being done to try and slow that down a little bit?
Yes, the goals at the Alzheimer's Association are one of our tenets of our mission is to fund research to find a cure for Alzheimer's disease. And there's been about 30 years of work so far really dedicated and focused to Alzheimer's disease research, but we don't have a cure yet. And we don't even have a reliable treatment or way to prevent Alzheimer's disease. The only drugs that currently exist on the market are to modify symptoms of Alzheimer's disease, like agitation and anxiety and some of those types of things. But there's literally nothing today that someone can do to treat their Alzheimer's disease or or any sort of supplement they can take to prevent Alzheimer's disease. So the research is critically important, and there are some exciting things on the horizon as far as what the Alzheimer's Association is doing to look at the earliest stages of the disease and targeting drug therapies before symptoms may even develop in someone. Alzheimer's starts to develop in the brain about 20 years before people actually exhibit symptoms.
Really? 20 years?
20 years. So if we can intervene at the earliest possible point and make it sort of a chronic thing to manage through medication so it doesn't progress, that's still progress until we have a cure, because people can live their lives as they normally would with their memories and dignity intact versus the path that, from your experience and mine, we know happens to people with Alzheimer's disease.
So I've shared many times on the broadcast, full transparency, my dad had dementia, which I guess, I sometimes I forget whether is Alzheimer's part of dementia or dementia is part of Alzheimer's?
So dementia is the umbrella term for many different types of dementia. Alzheimer's disease is the most common dementia, but there's also Lewy body dementia, vascular dementia, and frontal temporal dementia. There's also Parkinson's disease related dementias. So think of it like cancer. There's breast cancer, there's prostate cancer, there's different types of cancer, there's different types of dementia. Our official name is Alzheimer's Association and Related Disorders Association. So it's a long name, obviously. So we look at all areas of dementia in our research and in the care and support we offer families, but Alzheimer's is the most common, and it's very rarely diagnosed. So people with dementia may actually have Alzheimer's, but only 50% of people with Alzheimer's are actually given an Alzheimer's diagnosis by their doctor.
So when I was walking this path 4 or 5 years ago, what we were told is you really don't know what form of dementia you have until there's an autopsy. I don't know if that's changed now, because you're saying now they know 20 years in advance. So it sounds like maybe they've got a better handle on what's going on.
Well, we do. And one of the great challenges is to bring this into the mainstream so that everybody can benefit from it, because the way that we're able to look at Alzheimer's right now is really in research and clinical trials, in the PET scans that we do in seemingly healthy subjects to be able to see the development of the plaques in the brain early on, and then the diagnostics that we use in clinical trials such as cerebral spinal fluid and more detailed PET scans that see the beta amyloid and the tau tangles that develop in the brain. So truly accurate diagnosis in live people is a very specialized thing. It's not something that can be done in your regular primary care doctor's office, but they can do assessments to refer you to proper specialists. And in California, we have Alzheimer's disease research centers that are areas are places people can go for accurate diagnosis and care. So we're very fortunate in California for that.
Are there exercises and things that one can do with that can help you navigate through the issues?
You mean like physical exercise to help?
Mind games, the
sure,
crossword puzzles, things along those lines?
Yeah, so we have on our website something called 10 Ways to Love Your Brain. And these are things that are shown to have benefit to prevent cognitive decline. And mild cognitive impairment and cognitive decline are really like step one on the path to Alzheimer's or other dementias. That you pass through that area where memory problems interfere with your daily life is mild cognitive impairment, and that's when you should really see a specialist, is when something that you used to do easily you can no longer do. Sometimes it's called executive function, like if you were always able to balance your checkbook, or you were always able to find your way from the grocery store to the library back to your house, and suddenly you're having trouble with those things. I mean, those are very clear signs. But everybody should do things that are recommended in 10 Ways to Love Your Brain. Social engagement is key. Taking a class, learning a new language, exercise is key. Protecting your head from head trauma is very important. Getting enough sleep, managing your stress. I'm not going through all 10, but those are some of them. And
managing your stress.
Managing your stress, yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Does Kettle One solve that problem, or is that just a
if
different?
that works,
probably not going to be on the 10 Ways to Love Your Brain.
In moderation, I think that if that's part of how you're social or how you manage your stress, a cocktail is not going to give you Alzheimer's, but more than one cocktail is definitely going to have an impact on your vascular health, which could give you Alzheimer's. So
might affect your brain a little bit.
Yes, but vascular health is really key, and one thing that we just found in research that is going to be studied even further is normal blood pressure recommendations right now for physicians is to help people keep their blood pressure below 140. And a new study just came out where people with intensely controlled blood pressure below 120 had 19% fewer cases of mild cognitive impairment than people whose blood pressure was managed under 140 but above 120. So one of the things that we're working on at the Alzheimer's Association is to really educate the public about, blood pressure is key in protecting your brain health, and heart health is brain health. Anything good for your heart is good for your brain, because your brain needs oxygen and nutrients, and it needs to be inflammation-free, so to speak, in order to operate at its optimum.
So we're going to get to the point that they're going to tell us that smoking causes Alzheimer's or dementia?
Smoking is not recommended for people who want to prevent Alzheimer's. It does compromise.
Because you're saying about the heart health, and we know that that's a detriment to...
Anything that compromises the vascular structure in your body is going to be a risk factor for Alzheimer's. So one of the other 10 ways to love your brain, thank you, is to quit smoking.
Well, that's that one baffles me as a advocate and somebody that is outspoken. If it wasn't for the government wanting a lot of money from the taxes, smoking would be outlawed 100%. Right? I mean, we watch, and I'm not going to ask you to chime in on that one, but think about it. I mean, saccharin and a couple of other drugs that have killed 10 people or 20 people, we end up with getting outlawed. Yet we know all these things, and now we know that dementia and cognitive issues are a side effect of smoking, yet we still allow those things in our country. It just doesn't, it's all about the money, just throwing that out there. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, we're going to continue our conversation talking a bit about Alzheimer's, how it affects women. Are they disproportionately affected? We'll see. I don't know. We'll learn that out. Why homeownership matters now more than ever, and what you need to know about filing taxes jointly. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. On Twitter @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Siegel Lending Team offers you buying power. Let's say you can afford a monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of home you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details. 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender. Licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million. 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel lending team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel lending team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal lender.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part. You still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com, or simply call 800-306-1990.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. Why home ownership matters more now than ever. Study after study shows that no matter what generation Americans belong to, the vast majority believe that home ownership is an important part of their American dream. Benefits of home ownership can be broken into two main categories, financial and non-financial, often referred to as emotional or social reasons. For Americans approaching retirement age, one of the greatest benefits to home ownership is the added net worth they have been able to achieve simply by paying their mortgage. The Joint Center for Housing Studies at Harvard University focused on homeowners and renters over the age of 65. Their study revealed that the difference in net worth between homeowners and renters at this age group was actually 47.5 times greater, with nearly half their net worth coming from their home equity. I put a chart up on our social media channels earlier this morning showing these numbers for you. Homeowners over age 65 are much more financially prepared for retirement and often own their homes outright if they were fortunate enough to purchase their homes before the age of 36. I guess I'm too old. Their 30 years of mortgage payments have paid off as they gained equity through their monthly payments and as home values appreciated. It is no surprise that lifelong renters have had a hard time accruing net worth. As the latest census report shows, the median asking rent has been climbing consistently over the last 30 years. Bottom line, your monthly mortgage payment is a form of forced savings, building your net worth with every payment. That is the real-time real estate segment, again brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. Continuing our conversation, Ann Gray is with us, Executive Director of the Alzheimer's Association. We're chatting a little bit about Alzheimer's and learning a little bit. So you've got an event coming up.
We do. We're very excited about our event coming up on May 3rd at the Fashion Island Hotel. It is our Women End Alls Luncheon.
Women End Alls. What does that mean? It means What are we ending?
We are ending the wave of Alzheimer's that impacts women. It's a little known fact that we're working hard to change. I'm not saying we're about to change it, but we're working hard to change the fact that people don't realize that 2/3 of people with Alzheimer's disease are women.
Really?
It affects us disproportionately, and we're doing research to understand why, but we don't know the exact reasons yet. People say, oh, it's because women live longer, but that truly is not the case. Why there are more instances in women. It's something with our biology and hormones that makes us more susceptible to Alzheimer's disease. And there have been studies even on how many children you've had or whether you've not had children and how that impacts your chances for developing Alzheimer's.
So if you have more children, is that more likely or less likely?
It falls in the middle. I think if you have one child, your chances are higher. If you have 3 children, your chances are less. So it's a very fascinating study that needs more work more research to really come out with definitive answers on what could predetermine additional risk for women. But childbirth and how many children and miscarriages people have been part of that. So it definitely plays into the theory that there is some hormonal imbalance that causes the additional inflammation or problems in the brain.
Kind of ties into what you were saying earlier too, because earlier in the last segment you were talking about the stress, and obviously with miscarriages, that's a tremendous stress factor. And I know just from our own household, my wife is going crazy all the time, not from a clinical standpoint, but having 3 kids running around chasing them all the time and getting them to all their events and whatnot, gives her a lot more mental exercise.
Yes, yeah. So
right?
there's pros and cons to that. I mean,
makes sense. I mean, ties into what you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely. So this event that we're doing is really to educate women about what they can do to, anticipate maybe certain risk factors so that they know if they start to exhibit early signs that they should be checked and diagnosed accurately.
You're not saying to have more kids so you don't get Alzheimer's, right?
No.
Just throwing that out there.
But once we know that definitively, we'll put that out there for folks.
We'll put out there, have more kids and you'll have less Alzheimer's.
But yes, and the other impact for women is 65% of women are caregivers for someone with Alzheimer's as well. The burden falls on women more for caregiving. And another interesting fact is that...
Now, does that cause them to get Alzheimer's because they're a caregiver, or is that just that they're impacted because of being a caregiver?
They're impacted because of being a caregiver because often it's daughters caring for their mothers, or women, spouses caring for their husbands, or sometimes it's grandchildren caring for a grandparent. I learned a statistic recently where 30% of high school dropouts drop out because they are a caregiver to someone at home, whether it's Alzheimer's or something else, but they drop out of high school because they have to be the caregiver because their parents are working.
That's a fascinating number too.
Yeah. So there's a lot we need to do to change the paradigm of Alzheimer's disease, and arming women with information on what they can do to protect their brain health, how we can erase the stigma of Alzheimer's disease and make it something that people talk about openly so that people know that being diagnosed in the early stages, you can do a lot of planning for your future and letting your wishes be known, whereas in the mid to late stages, it's very difficult for the person and the family to make decisions. And oftentimes it causes a lot of family strife. And the Alzheimer's Association is really here to help people on that journey. While we're doing research to prevent and cure this disease, we offer resources and support. And we have social workers right here in Orange County that can work with families on this journey to help them.
And that's a fascinating part of it as well, because we do. I understand a lot of people are a little stronger than others when it comes to the concept of getting into support groups. Do you have support groups for people that are going through this journey?
We do, and we have all kinds of support groups. We have spouse support groups, we have caregiver support groups, we have online support groups, and we have a Facebook...
That's an interesting one, it's an online support group.
Yeah, and we have webinars, and we have, through our website, there's just a page for caregivers and a page for people with early onset and early stage Alzheimer's, where they can all go on these forums and talk with one another and have people... who are in their space and understand where they are. I mean, some people aren't joiners, or maybe they aren't super outgoing, but they feel comfortable in their home and asking a question, more anonymously, I guess. And people can also call our helpline for one-on-one support, and that's also free.
And it's amazing the similarities from people that I've talked to, having traveled the route. You end up, when you have a disease of any sort, I think it is, you end up finding people who are talking about the same things. It comes out more and more. Yeah. And you find out there's so many similarities of the journey. So if you can talk to somebody that traveled that route, down the road before you might be better off.
Absolutely. And it's painful for people who are dealing with a loved one with Alzheimer's disease, because there's many stages of grieving. There's grieving when you find the diagnosis, there's grieving when they don't remember you anymore, and then there's grieving when the person passes. So it's a very difficult, long journey. And so bringing together a community of women in Orange County, having this camaraderie, having people understand the disease so they can be a compassionate friend if someone they know is going through it, or if it ultimately happens in their family, they know that they can turn to the Alzheimer's Association.
Great to have organizations like that are out there to help people. So the event is May 3rd. That's a Friday. It's a luncheon?
It is a luncheon. It's a fun day. We put the, great energy and wonderful memories into this event. So it's probably a 2 Kleenex event. At a certain point, there's some heart-wrenching stories.
Well, we'll talk about some of those.
Overall, it's fun.
Let's talk about some of those stories when we come back. I know a lot of people like to hear what's going on, what they might gain from the event. We're going to talk about that when we come back. We'll continue our conversation with Ann Gray, Executive Director of the Alzheimer's Association. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. We will also chat a little bit about what you need to know about filing taxes jointly. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We will be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams, or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Most businesses struggle to get the online reviews they need to get a competitive edge over their competition. Rex is a brand new technology that uses text messages to direct happy clients to your online review sites, Zillow, Google, Facebook, and Yelp, and unhappy clients to a private survey, so businesses can win more customers. Try Rex today by going to www.meetrex.com.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel Team at 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send send you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to reap@ronsiegelradio.com or call today. Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990.
Rate subject to change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and BRE NMLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal BRE 01869452 and 1866775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Well, welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message. And as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Word on Wealth segment today being brought to you by the AskAboutReverseMortgages.com. Are you 62 years of age or older? Do you have equity in your property? Maybe the reverse mortgage is right for you. I've told you before, I used it not because I'm 62 years of age or older, but I did use it for my parents. It worked out splendidly. Everything from saving their cash flow, saving them money, saving them on taxes, all worked out great. What you need to know about filing taxes, though, jointly. Married couple, you and your spouse have the option of filing taxes jointly or separately. The IRS does encourage you to file your income tax returns jointly by providing a host of resources and incentives to do so. There are a lot of advantages to filing taxes jointly. However, there are also some instances where doing so might not be the best idea for your circumstances. Here are some of the things to know about filing taxes jointly, what it means for your finances. IRS allows you to file taxes jointly as a married couple if you are married by the final day of the tax year. Might be a little late for you right now, but hey, there are people I know that get married on December 31st for tax benefits. Just saying. Even if you're in the process of divorcing but haven't finalized it by December 31st, you're still considered married. As a married couple filing under the married filing jointly status, both of you can record income, exemptions, deductions, all of your deductions. Experts agree that filing your taxes jointly only works if one of you has a significantly higher income. However, if both of you work and have itemized deductions that are both large and unequal, then it might be a better idea to file separately. The bottom line here is get a great tax preparer, give them all the information. I'm not going to tell you whether you should file jointly or separately. I'm telling you there are benefits to both. You need to be educated so you can ask the right questions. If you don't have a great tax preparer, give me a call at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. I can introduce you to them. Just a couple other touts to give you this morning as well if you're thinking about getting ready to buy a new home. How about the Financial Legacy Tool from Ron Siegel Radio? Text RSR Budget to 79564, no spaces in there, and get on that tool. Totally free, totally secure. It is a read-only tool. It does not have any ability for making changes, so that's one item there for you. We are also double-ending our Girl Scout cookies again this year. So if you want to support the Girl Scouts and don't want it to affect your waistline, yes, you can Venmo or PayPal money to Ron Siegel Radio. We have a local Girl Scout who we will buy the cookies from, and she's going to deliver them to a nonprofit organization. I think we're using one of the homeless shelters around town. So you can double end this. It's double benefit and no harm to your waistline. All that is good stuff. Now let's continue our conversation. We are learning from Ann Gray, Executive Director of the Alzheimer's Association, chatting about, I've got my hot little hand for those of you watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, Women End Alz Luncheon, hashtag ENDALZ, love that one. May 3rd, 10:30 to 2 p.m., Fashion Island Hotel, Newport Beach. Champagne, we start the weekend off early with some champagne. Like that idea. Silent auction, Pop-up shops. What is a pop-up shop?
A pop-up shop are some curated boutiques from the Orange County area that are bringing special merchandise to sell to our guests, and we receive a percent of proceeds. So there's some fun new items for spring to look at. It's right before Mother's Day, so perfect time to pick up that perfect gift, and it's just a nice complement to our silent auction and the social time we have before the luncheon.
Sounds great. Now, I was reading in some of the notes this morning that Alzheimer's is more likely to get Alzheimer's than breast cancer.
Women over 60 are twice as likely to get Alzheimer's as they are to get breast cancer.
Twice as, and we hear all the news and things. I mean, because obviously I follow it a little bit, being married, so I follow a little here of the breast cancer issues. Mm-hmm. But that's it generally comes across later in life as well.
Right.
So both diseases are later in life, and 2 to 1, and you hear so much more about the breast cancer issue than the Alzheimer's.
And that's something that this luncheon is going to help us change, is more women talking about it and realizing this is something that can impact them very early in their life. The earliest cases I know of people diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease are in their 40s, and that's called early onset Alzheimer's. But
so how would I know? I mean, because generally we talk about Alzheimer's and you hear, okay, well, I'm forgetting what I'm doing, and I'm forgetting things, and I'm repeating myself, and I know in my dad's case, delusions and whatnot. So how do you know about that before you really just have it?
So it's a challenge. I mean, it's a struggle that families go through, and that's why we encourage people to call our helpline or visit our office if they have concerns. But most commonly, it will be someone's behavior's changed, and somebody may liken it to, well, is she having a midlife crisis? What's going on with her? Somebody might say, I thought my husband or my marriage was in jeopardy because my husband started acting so differently. If those things are really dramatic and sudden, that's something to talk to your doctor about, because those are the things that really exhibit when someone is younger and is having the signs of early dementia and early onset Alzheimer's disease. So things that interfere with your daily life, if their business suddenly is doing poorly, or they're making poor financial decisions, or they're doing something more reckless, spending more money, something more manic, those are all.
I'm always spending a lot of money though, so that's not Alzheimer's.
Well, if that's a behavior that hasn't changed.
Oh, okay. I better be careful because I think she's watching right now.
It's a dramatic and very different change in behavior or personality, I think, that is important for people to look out for. And as sad as it is, and it is anecdotal, but people often think, I just thought we were growing apart and our marriage was in trouble, and then when we finally realized that it was something more than that, in some ways it was a relief.
Interesting.
They knew what they were up against.
Now, I was a little fascinated in the notes also that it's saying that Alzheimer's is a cause of death.
Yes.
I always thought it was, there was something else was going on because of the Alzheimer's, but they really didn't use Alzheimer's as the cause of death.
Right. And Alzheimer's disease is not a normal part of aging. There are people in their 90s who are 100% sharp as a tack when they pass away from heart disease or, cancer, or some, just peacefully in their sleep, whatever it might be. And we've studied these people too in a 90+ study, like what makes them super at aging and what makes other people not so super at aging. But what Alzheimer's disease does is it erodes the brain. So think of I do this with kids sometimes when I explain Alzheimer's disease, but think of a head of cauliflower as someone's brain.
Okay.
And then slice that cauliflower, so you have like a slice of it, and you see all the florets on it.
Sure.
That's like a healthy brain. And when you start breaking off the florets of cauliflower, that's a brain with Alzheimer's. That's what it looks like at the time of death with someone. It's like you took off all those florets of cauliflower, and there's basically not much of the brain left. So ultimately, that impacts your bodily functions, for your organs to function, for you to breathe, for you to digest your food. Your bodily functions shut down ultimately when someone dies from Alzheimer's.
So it sounds to me like it could end up being that somebody that may have had heart failure really had Alzheimer's that caused the heart failure, and they show it as being, because if it's shutting down these bodily activities, Right? I mean, it could be misdiagnosed. There could be a lot more people that are dying from Alzheimer's that are just not diagnosed that way.
Well, I think someone with Alzheimer's, in my grandfather's case, he had Alzheimer's. He had a heart attack and died. And he was one of those people who had high cholesterol. So it was a comorbidity.
Okay.
Kind of what we would call in that case. But sometimes the body just completely shuts down and the person fades away. And that's where it really is the worst last stage of Alzheimer's, when someone's, brain causes their body to give out. It's sometimes a blessing in disguise what happened to my grandfather. Sure. He wasn't in the latest stages of Alzheimer's, and we were able to, be with him and, have some not good memories of that last moment, but because he didn't really know who we were, but he was like, oh, there's nice people here to see me, and
sure.
then, he passed away. But it was
probably a little more peaceful. I know in my family, my dad was anxious to go because, he wasn't able to do the things that he loved doing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's just a different issue. Let's try and finish on a positive
Let's do
note.
That. Yeah.
Luncheon May 3rd. I always like to eat, so
Yes.
obviously, and champagne sounds good to me.
It's all good.
And May 3rd, we're going to do this at the Fashion Island Hotel, Newport Beach. Great location, great view right there, right by the water.
And we're honoring an amazing woman at this event. Her name is Linda Sadeghi. She is the founder of the Lab. I'm sure many people have gone to Costa Mesa to the wonderful Lab retail complex with all the great dining and shops and everything. And she's receiving our Community Epicenter Award because through her properties at Lab Holdings, they have several properties. They've really helped us to get the word out about Alzheimer's disease amongst young people.
Wow.
And women, because the tripling of Alzheimer's in 30 years. I mean, I tell that to 30-year-olds and they do the math and they say that's not good. So they want to get, behind this cause, which is amazing. But Linda has Alzheimer's in her family. Her brother's currently suffering with Alzheimer's, and she's very passionate about our cause and our research, and just a wonderful lady. So we're thrilled to be honoring her.
So we're going to get the information about the event put right on the Ron Siegel Radio Facebook page. We'll get it into the show notes as well. And as always, we ask you, set that first radio preset button to come back here every day to join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thank you to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John, who's engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions, if you would like to speak to Anna or want to know more information about the event, give me a call at 800-306-1990. I'll put you in touch with the right people, 800-306-1990 or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We will talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.